Hey, this is Knife Standards. Today I'm going to be doing my full review of the Qvist Bladeworks Variant PE 2. So this is the production edition of the variant, and this is the second version of the production variant. So the variant is the name of the model. This is by Jacob Lundquist. Lundquist? I'm going to say Lundquist. Anyway, these are made by, obviously designed by him, made by QSP. I'm pretty sure these are QSP. And it's a fantastic knife. I mean, it's just a really solid, affordable EDC knife. I've really enjoyed my time with it. I've enjoyed carrying it. And we will go ahead and talk about all of that. We'll get into it in just a second. But first, please follow me at Knife Standards. You can follow me on Instagram. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for a lot more knife content and weekly knife reviews. If any of you are interested in my RR Standard, which is my design, they are currently being assembled by Best Tech, and they're kind of getting into some quality control, and then they're going to be heading my way. Yes, finally. So I'm pumped up for that. I would expect an update in the next couple weeks. And then my goal is to get them out to you guys as soon as possible, as soon as I get them in, and then I put them through my quality control and then get them packed up to you guys. All right, so just a quick update on the RR Standard. Feel free to message me or comment or anything if you have questions on that. Let's go ahead and get into the variant, and I will get this stuff out of the way. Man, I'm trying to crank out these videos. It's tough though. I'm some of this stuff I can't talk about yet, but I'm just swamped with getting everything ready for the RR Standard. Had to get everything all set for CCKS. That was a blast. Had a great time there. That was my first knife show as a vendor. I went last year to CCKS as an attendee, which was super fun, and definitely a different experience being there, with my own table. But again, super fun. Talking with everyone, the other designers and makers and companies. It's just, what a great experience. I'm really excited to get back there as soon as I can. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this knife. This is the variant from Qvist Bladeworks. This is Jacob Lundquist. And this is a solid knife. This may be the ugliest knife in my collection, but I don't mean that in a bad way or a negative way. I am just not a fan of this kind of sway back, this, where the handle kind of swoops up. You have this, I guess you'd call it a Wharncliffe blade shape. It's just not my style. So I had originally purchased the production edition 1, so the PE 1. I got that on the secondary. And it was very, very good. Like, I did a video on it. Maybe did I do one or two? I think just one video on it. Solid knife. And then it was right around the time when this was, I think they were doing pre-orders for this, right around the time I did that video. So I got in on the pre-order of this. It was affordable. I don't remember exactly how much it cost. It's definitely in the budget range, so less than $100. If I had to guess, I don't know, like $70, somewhere around that 50 to 100-ish range. And I don't know if you can beat this. I feel like the big competition for this kind of price range and these materials would be something from Asher knives, which, this is S35 VN and carbon fiber. But similar price points. I think the Asher's a little bit pricier, but both under 100. Anyway, let's go ahead and go over some materials for the variant. We have really nice, this looks like a bead blast, but it's very slick, very smooth. I like it a lot. I like this handle finish. Scales are titanium, and that was a big upgrade from the first variant, the first production variant, because And the reason I keep saying that is he also makes custom knives, custom variants, and they're really crazy. He does, you can see them, I think they're on his website. He has like a catalog of all of the custom variants that he's made. They're very cool. They're all different, materials and milling patterns and all this crazy stuff. So anyway, the first production edition did not have titanium scales. I think mine had G10. I think mine was G10, but then Jacob did aftermarket scales. I'm not sure if he machined them or if he had them machined, but whatever. And they were aftermarket titanium scales, but by him. And then that's what I had on my PE, my variant. I'm just going to say variant. We know what I'm talking about, the production edition. Okay. That's what I had on the variant, the first one. And then the second version came with titanium. Not all of the versions had titanium, but that's the one I opted for. Then for the blade, we have, I think this is 14C28N, solid budget steel, good to go. And then kind of like a black wash finish. So that's like kind of a DLC coating or a PVD coating, and then they tumble it. So very cool. I like it. Let's go ahead and talk about action, because that's one of the highlights of this knife as far as I'm concerned. You have the opening hole, definitely made for a middle finger flick. D10 is great. D10 is dialed in for the middle finger flick, just enough resistance to give that pop. It's kind of like a slow, controlled close, which is fine with me. I really moved away from the liking the guillotine action. Maybe, I don't know, like 8 or 9 months ago, I was like, everything has to drop shut, and now I just don't need that. I like a nice controlled close, or, a couple shakes. To me, that's a little bit more desirable lately for me. But again, my tastes change all the time. Now, they did add, I'm trying to remember the production changes from version 1 to version 2. They extended the liner lock, so this sticks out a little bit more, because I guess people were having trouble disengaging it and kind of getting a hold of that on the last version. And then the other thing they did was add this little topper on the spine. So when you look at it, that makes it even uglier. I don't mean it as a bad thing, but it's meant to be a front flipper. So you have those two deployment methods. You can middle finger flick it, or you can front flip it, and it works really well as a front flipper. It's an excellent front flipper. It's not too difficult. The nimble. I have the original nimble. That front flipper is just damn tough to do for me. And this is not. This is just super easy, crisp, boom. Very, very accessible for like a beginner front flipper, because you just kind of get your thumb on the end of that little tab, and then you follow along the edge of the scale. Really easy. Action is great. So I'm pretty sure QSP did these. Yeah, anyway, QSP nailed the action. Feels great in hand, and it's super smooth. So let's go ahead and do a quick size comparison. I will go ahead and bust out the Asher Spyro. And I also have Wee Banter, which is, I'm going to be giving this one away for my 1,000 subscriber, 2,000 follower giveaway. So check out my Instagram to enter that. But these are all similarly sized, but you can kind of see like a very slight, small, medium, large, even though I wouldn't consider the Asher a large knife. Let's get them measured up, see what we're working with. On 2.75 for the blade on the Banter, 6.5 overall for the variant. Yeah, pretty similar. I mean, cutting edge, you got about 2.75, and then overall just under 7. And then for the Spyro, just a little over 3, but cutting edge, you're right at about 3, and then maybe 7.25 overall length. So definitely EDC friendly. And I will go ahead and talk about how it was to carry this knife. I do get 4 fingers on all 3 of these knives. It's the easiest for me personally to get these 4 fingers on the Asher, but it's also the largest knife out of these 3. So that, that's kind of obvious. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put the banter to the side, and then let's get back to the variant. So as far as ergos go, originally I was a little bit concerned about this cutout to see kind of where my fingers landed and kind of how that felt. So I tried choking up, and you can choke up and kind of get your middle finger in there and put your your pointer finger right, almost at the little mini sharpening choil. But it just doesn't feel great that way for me. So the choke up wasn't an option. I preferred, just this kind of swayed back grip where my pointer finger is in that groove, and then I do get 4 fingers, but my pinky hangs off just a little bit. But again, very comfortable, surprisingly comfortable. If I judged this just for looks, it would be a rough review, but that is not the way I review. I mean, looks are important, but how it feels in my hand is just as important, if not more important. So it does feel really good. One thing that I noticed about this knife, which I'm really impressed by, is there are no hot spots or sharp corners or sharp edges. The only thing that comes close is this little tip of the clip. But once you get it in hand, it sits in my hand in a way where I don't feel that anymore. But if I'm just kind of, being picky and kind of touching all the edges and touching the corners and the chamfers and all that stuff, the only thing that sticks out a little bit is the tip of the clip, but not a big deal. You got some standoffs, no backspacer. It is relatively thin. Compare it. Yeah, pretty similar. And the Asher, to me, feels extremely thin. So very similar width. And but what was impressive is that they really did a great job of smoothing everything down. Everything is really rounded and smooth and kind of easy to handle, not uncomfortable for my hand. So excellent ergos. It would be nice if this jimping kind of extended all the way to the end of the hole. I think that would be awesome, because where my thumb lands, my thumb doesn't really land back here naturally. My thumb tends to sit a little bit further out, and it's missing some of that jimping. So that would be cool. Just double the jimping. And what else? Oh, let's go ahead and do a little hardware check. No, I have not disassembled this knife, but it looks, are these T6? Yeah, so that's kind of a bummer. That'd be cool if these were T8. Not a huge deal. So that looks like T6, 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 and then T8. Yeah, I mean, I feel like T6s need to just be, done away with. I don't know. I'm not sure why they're still a thing. I feel like very rarely do you have a situation where you need to use a T6 as opposed to a T8. And that's the only thing that will fit with the design. I feel like most times you can sneak that T8 in there. Of course, centering looks great. Carrying this knife was way more comfortable, way more fun than I thought it would be. The pocket clip actually works really well, and I do not like the way that the pocket clip looks. The screws stick out a little bit inside the pocket clip. It is not reversible, which is okay. The clip does sink in to the scale just a little bit. There's a little bit of, like a milled out section there. I don't know. I don't think this is titanium. Not sure. But it slips right in and out of pocket. I mean, in a good way. It's very easy to get in pocket and out of pocket when you choose to. It's not one of those ones where you have to hold with both hands and get the clip and pull it out. It was, it actually felt similar, like a similar action, pocket clip action, to a wire clip. Really kind of easy in and out, comfortable, not a big deal, no discernible hot spots. So I enjoyed that. Another thing that I really like about this is you can do the slow roll if you choose. I feel like with this knife, it's just fun. It's fun to do the slow roll. It is fidgety, and this kind of, I hear people call it like a reverse tux or whatever. I don't know. I don't really get that, but this variation to me is the best one. They have I think they have a micarta and full titanium with the satin blade, blah blah blah. But some of the kind of machined satin blades don't really do it for me. So that's why I went with the black wash. Overall, really solid knife. Again, it may be the ugliest knife in my collection. Definitely not my style. The Wharncliffe, the big swooped up handle, the curves on the scales. Ooh, it's ugly, but it is good. It is good. I mean, it's just a solid EDC. Coming from I haven't talked to Jacob, but I talked to him a little bit, but it's not like he's my buddy. Although Jacob, if you want to be friends. Anyway, coming from my point was that this knife is coming from what seems to be a very cool guy, a really nice guy from what I've heard and my little interaction with him. So good OEM, really solid dude, designing these. If you haven't picked one of these up, it's totally worth the money. Totally worth it. Sub $100. You're getting a ton of knife, a really fun kind of fidget friendly, solid EDC with multiple deployment methods, titanium scales, especially if, let's say you're just getting into knives or you haven't had that titanium knife yet. This is kind of a great starting point, kind of getting into that next tier of knives. Maybe you've had like a $20 knife or a $50 knife. This is definitely the next tier up. So really solid offering from Jacob Lundquist, Qvist Bladeworks. Check him out, check his knives out, and just reach down to pull out his sticker. Boom, there we go. This has been my full review of the PE2 variant. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This has been Knife Standards. I will catch you later.